So the day is finally here. All the hype that we've been talking about, which is the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which was finally talked about today on DJI's channel. They've been kind of teasing, our people that have been leaking it have been talking about it for some time now. There was rumors that it was going to come out in April. There was rumors that it was going to come out today. But basically, DJI went on and posted something, and they just said a plot in the twist. And they basically put that up there and had a video today. And let's take a look at how the video basically, or what the announcement was like. Okay, so that was the video that they basically put out in earlier this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And when I saw that they were having like an announcement, I thought they were actually going to do something like Samsung or something like Apple, where they actually talk about like do some hype about it. I actually talk about it afterwards, but literally they just posted that, didn't post the price, didn't do anything. But if you look at the description of the video, later they actually updated the description of the video to include a link to now what is posted on their website is how you can purchase and all that. So let me know what you all think. I see some people are watching, so let me know where you're watching from, what your thoughts are. I was already when I saw kind of the rumors, I was already like, I'm gonna add a mini back to my drones. I had a mini before, and I have a Mavic Air 2, so I had two drones at one point, and then I sold the mini. But I'm looking forward to adding, just because as a content creator, I have a travel channel as well as this channel. Vertical shots is really what's gonna sell it for me. Very important as vertical video is like very popular as far as shorts, as far as reels and TikToks and all that stuff. So that is something that is very impressive. In general, this Mini Pro is not what you've ever seen before from the Mini series. They've always been, 249 grams, but you've never seen the vertical shots. You don't really see the vertical shots on any of the DJI drones. That's what kind of frustrated me. I was kind of shocked that they don't have that capability to shoot vertical shots. I think maybe like a older drone or older DJI can do vertical shots, but nothing currently in the market until now. So that's very impressive. The HDR capability is really impressive. That's something that I get on my Mavic Air too. I have to do little editing when I shoot in HDR. When I shoot in HDR, it's usually like sunrise or sunset where I can get some really great quality and I don't have to do any editing. Every time I post something when I'm shooting in HDR, people are like, wow, how did you get that footage? And I'm just like, I just literally use the HDR. We've never seen obstacle avoidance on the mini series, so that's great. So basically, that allows the drone to avoid obstacles. I made a mistake of when I had my first mini that I thought that I had obstacle avoidance, and literally I did like a quick shot and it flew into a tree. So, obstacle avoidance is really going to be great, and I'm really excited about the Mini 3. Otis says that I'm happy I held out on getting the Mini 2. Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like Apple, like they DJI always puts out something um a lot. So like even last year we saw like the Mavic 3 came out. Um I wouldn't be surprised if we see something soon, maybe in the Mavic Air series. There was a Mavic Air 2 that I got in 2020, and then the Mavic Air 2S came out. So um, wondering if a Mavic Air, something else will come out from the Mavic Air. But let's take a look at, so let's go to the website and take a look at some of the specs and the price points of it. Oops. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, so like I said, they didn't do anything like really big on any discussions or anything. Literally, it said like a twist in the plot, and as it debuted, you could see where they changed the title of everything, and everyone's in the chat like that's it. Some people were like, "What's the price point?" So if you actually read, it'll take you to all of the details, and their tag is. Hold on, let me move this. Okay, so the tag is fly mini, create great, or create big. And like I said, it's 249 grams. And that is good because anything 249 grams or below, like you don't have to, or 250 or below, you don't have to um, register it with the FAA. But even if you do, it's like $5 to register it. It's also good as I was looking at flying my drone, taking it out of the country, and I saw some countries, want your drone to be like that small. So I was kind of like hesitant to add a mini back into it because I really don't like the weight of it. As far as when I flew my drone around the ocean, there was like big seagulls like circling around my drone. There were like I was afraid it was going to fly away. People were talking about it flies away, but for traveling purposes and going out of the country, there's some countries that want a smaller drone or things like that. So that's going to be where this is going to come into play if I travel and don't want to and can't take my Mavic Air 2. Okay, so like I mentioned, it has the obstacle, well, they call it obstacle sensing, but basically, I've always talked about it as obstacle avoidance, and then the vertical shots. and focus track, which I talked about on other streams, where it's going to be able to basically follow you around and capture footage, or basically hone in on a subject that you select and follow it around. All right, so let's go to the price. And here's where I was kind of like a little bummed. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so it starts at $759. Um, let's see what all includes in the 759. So it includes the DJI, basically the standard controller. And then there is the DJI Pro with the DJI RC. So that is basically what you saw in the, let me see if they have the photos here, but basically what you saw in the video. So here's the standard controller, which is going to be the 759. And then I don't have a picture of the, let's see. Maybe I need to select it. Okay. So here is the controller that basically comes at the 909 price point. I'm actually kind of sold on this price point because of some of the more advanced controllers are the smart controllers that are with the older are the different drones. The other drones are more expensive. Like one, they don't produce some of the models anymore, so if you try to find them, they're like thousands of dollars. So if I can get the new drone and this type of controller for 909, I don't see a bad, I don't see that as being a bad price. One reason why I want to get a controller like this is because I use my phone a lot, and I've talked about this before. This phone does not fit with the case on the standard controller. So I'm oftentimes just taking it out and putting it in and going back and forth. And when I'm rushing or if it's cold out or something, like I've dropped the phone, probably can't see it. I've cracked it. And these phones are not cheap. So might as well go ahead and get like a controller so you don't have to deal with that. Um, and let's see. I'll be curious to see if this, I have to do some more research, but I'd love to know if this controller will work with like my Mavic Air 2 or some of the older drones. So that would be interesting. Okay. So let's see. And then if you already have like a drone controller, it looks like the DJI RC-N1 controller, which is what I showed a picture of earlier, will work with this. So like my Mavic Air 2 um, will work with this, or the controller that I use on my Mavic Air 2 will work with this. But like I said, I'd love to know if this actual controller on the Pro will work with my Mavic Air 2. And let's see, of course, they always have like a fly more combo with their drones. I'd recommend looking to the fly more combo, especially with the batteries. It looks like this battery, though, is 47 minutes flight time. So that's pretty good because usually they're like around 30, 35 minutes. But so it comes with additional batteries and then a charging hub, shoulder bag, and more. So let's see what battery this is. Doesn't look like it's any of the batteries that I use now, of course, because I mentioned it's 47 minutes. So, um, yeah. And then Oda says I'm selling him on the RC controller. Initially, wasn't considering it. Yeah, like as many phones as I've been through, like I have. This is the S20, so this one is already cracked. I was literally switching. Like I'm usually trying to rush because I don't like to cause a lot of attention. I'm just trying to like get in my car and put everything up, and literally switching it out in the trunk. Dropped it on the concrete while it was out of the case. I have another Samsung where the front of the phone has cracked because of like like putting it in the I should have took my drone out so you can see the controller. But when you put it in the basically the controller like on the front piece, some of it cracked just because of just wear and tear. So I have like one more phone, thankfully, that hasn't done anything, which is the Flip 3. I'm trying to hold out on not using it as a drone controller. And so until then, hopefully, I really hope this controller can literally work with other DJI drones. Okay, so that's the Fly More combo. So if you're, looking at the one with the DJI or the controller with the screen display, and then you add that up, you're over $1,000. When I first got the Mavic Air 2 with the Fly More combo, it was literally like I believe 999. So right at there, that price point. Let's see. This is Flymore kit is okay. So actually, let me back up. So the Flymore kit plus has the 47-minute batteries, which is awesome. Um, Usually when I'm flying, so the you have like a total of 3 batteries. Um, with my Mavic Air 2. So usually when I'm flying, I go through those batteries pretty quick to the point where I decided to get like a car charger for the batteries. Let's see. And then some people like to fly their drones with the a tablet. I don't do that just because kind of bulky for me. I don't really want to do that. But if you want to get the tablet holder, that's $49. But as of now, I'm sold on it. And then here's just the additional things that are in the box that if you're familiar with DJI, they come with those things. I usually have to end up buying like extra gimbal protectors because I lose those too when I'm switching out things. And then they just do a comparison with the different DJI drones. Like I said, I'm here on the Mavic Air 2. I had the first DJI Mini, which um, yeah, but look at these comparisons right here. Let me move myself out the way. Okay, so the comparisons here of the sensor. A lot of people are saying like they aren't sold on not getting like an Air series because of the sensor. You see, although the Air 2 weighs more, the sensor is definitely better on the Mavic Air 2. Um, let's see, you have the same type of videos going across, except for, of course, the DJI Mini 2 has 30 frames per second. And then, of course, you have the 48 megapixels, and then they match on the Mavic Air 2. I actually didn't know that the Air 2S only gets 20 megapixels, but they all do raw photos, which is important when you're editing them in like a Lightroom. Being able to have that raw capability really allows you to be able to edit it and bring out some of the lighting and stuff like that with the edits. And of course, the 34-minute flight time, and then they have that battery that goes above, well and beyond that 34 minutes if you want to get that. Let's see. Yep. So here's like the live transmission that you'll see on the like on your feed when you're flying. Advanced pilot assistance systems is key, like major key. Um, I have to do a video later to kind of show you what that is if you're not familiar with it. But when I'm flying my drone, it basically tells me that aircrafts are in the area, like tells me to lower my drone. You can see on the map everything, all the different aircrafts that are in the system are in the area. But that's key, and it's not on the map on the Mini too. So I remember flying with one of like I'm in a drone group or meetup, and they could hear the things going off telling me that there's something approaching. And of course you always want to be looking, keeping your eyes out and see what's flying around you anyway, but it doesn't hurt to have that extra assistance, and the Mini 2 does not have that. Okay. And of course, the active track I've already talked about, and you see it's not there on the Mini 2. It's on the other drones. The master shots. The master shots is not on the Air 2. So I'm really curious to see how that is. And let's see. Time lapse, not on the Mini 2. And vertical shots is not on either of them. So it's unfortunate. I'm going to have to get this drone. Well, not unfortunate, but I just wish some of the stuff that you would think would be standard on drones would be. But that's DJI reminds me of Apple. Like they'll put out these things that are kind of standard on other drones or are standard on other things, but then like it's like something new and grand to them. And of course, it comes with a price point. So finally able to get vertical shots. That's really what I'm excited about because when I shoot now, I have to kind of shoot from a distance so that I can go in and crop later and do that. And also, speaking of crop, the zoom, I don't know if I touched on that, but you saw it in the video. The zoom is also important. Like you would think that would be something that's standard, but it's not. So being able to zoom in is going to be awesome. So I'm really excited. I'm just a little bummed that it has the August 2022 starting as far as the availability. So let me know what you all think. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I talk about drone tips for beginners and also drone news. So definitely subscribe and share this video and like it if you haven't already. So I appreciate you for watching. I got to get back to doing some work, but I wanted to drop in really quickly since the video just dropped at 9 a.m. So I will catch you all next time and have a great day.